If you're terrified of homeschooling through high school, you need to hear Raquel's story. This mom went from overwhelming four kids with school at home to watching her daughter thrive in real world learning with things like accounting. But the breakthrough that changed everything, it's not what you expect. Today, I'm sharing my conversation with Raquel from tailoredhomeschool.com, who not only homeschools four kiddos from preschool through high school, but has also launched a homeschool bookstore and ministry. She's going to share the exact moment she stopped fearing high school homeschooling and started embracing a completely different approach. By the end of this interview, you'll discover why unschooling yourself might be the key to your family's success. Practical alternatives to college that actually work, and how one book, my book Overwhelmed, created the emotional breakthrough that changed so much for her. Plus, Raquel and I share why the trades are an untapped gold mine for homeschool teens. But Raquel, I would love for you to introduce yourself to everybody listening, letting us know who you are and a little bit about your homeschool journey.
Yeah, so my name's Raquel. I'm a homeschool mom. I homeschool four kids, preschool to high school. However, I have eight kids total, so I also have bonus kids, but they're not in home. Um, I have a homeschool bookstore, which quickly tumbled into a homeschool ministry where I'm building a resource center, and we had our first conference this year, and I'm actually planning the next one, which is a lot of work. And I've been homeschooling for 7 years now here in Washington.
I love it. Yeah, and the conference that you had was so great. So many moms got a lot out of it, and I love the moms. Like we had Tiffany Hernandez from the Ultimate Homeschool Community podcast on here. We had Janae Daniels from School to Homeschool, right? All of these women are cultivating community for our homeschool, and Raquel just happens to be like local on the West Coast in Washington. So if you are in the Seattle Kirkland area, we'd love to have you come join us and meet us this weekend. I'll be speaking. So lovely, Raquel. I am so happy that you're here. I feel like I feel like I follow your life on Facebook.
Yes, I share a lot about that on Facebook. Yes.
That's okay. That's good. That's good. Because she's a homeschool mom that is really in it. And I think it's one thing, homeschooling middle school and elementary school, there's a lot of leeway there. But once we enter into high school, like we're really beginning to nurture adults. And we haven't
hmm
had any moms come on and share about the overwhelm that they have felt moving into the high school season. Would you be open to sharing like that journey with us?
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, when I started homeschooling my teenager, her name's Lexi, I was scared to homeschool high school. Because at that point in my life, I hadn't really, I thought that education looked like I was trying to do school at home instead of actually homeschooling. And so I thought at that time, like, oh, she needs to go to college and just that mindset, because that's what I grew up in.
Yeah.
And mind you, I do have my college degree, but I don't really use it. And by the grace of God, I don't have student loans anymore. And
Awesome.
and so that's kind of where I was trying to gear her towards, was to go to college. So we would pick like really rigorous curriculum like Saxon math and all these things. And then about halfway through our journey, I was like, this is too much. This is hard. Now I'm going to have a kindergartner who needs my time, and Lexi is more independent. And so I realized, so I needed to deschool myself, something that I tell all families, deschool yourself, but it took me 4 years to do it. And so I deschooled myself, and then I realized, well, college is kind of a scam. Um, that's what I think. Unless you're going to be a doctor or something like that, you don't really need college. If What I tell parents is, if your child can learn to read and comprehend, they can learn anything. So like my daughter has learned accounting just by reading Accounting for Dummies, and so she helps me. She's
Oh, that's
she's barely
awesome.
gonna she's barely gonna be 16. And so she has those skills. And so when you realize that not all kids have to go to college, and you gear their learning towards what they want to do in life, it's just going to be so much easier. And then they're going to take over the reins and be motivated. And so I've definitely seen that for her. She's motivated to do a lot of stuff. And so she is going to go to a college. She wants to do cosmetology, but that's more of like a hobby side work thing she wants to do, because the other stuff she wants to do, she doesn't need a college degree. And so she's reading tons of books. We're picking curriculum that helps her learn things that she will need for that. And that just honestly made it easier by the time we got to high school. And so
Mhm.
I ask her, like, okay, what do you want to learn this year? Because if I include her, she's more likely to do it and take the initiative and be driven. And so what we've done is I ask her, okay, what do you want to do as far as curriculum and subjects? And then we go over that. And then that's what we work on. And she just will, what she does is, instead of doing all subjects all year long, she will take 3 to 4 subjects and do them over a period of 4 months and then move on. And that's really worked well for her.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I love that. That's so
Yeah,
good.
I'm hoping that outlook will work for the other kids, but we'll see. They're still in elementary, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just dropped Raquel's link to her website, tailoredhomeschool.com. I was trying to rack my brain to remember where we can find you. um, yeah, I absolutely love. I want to highlight for just a minute, right? You entered into homeschooling high school scared. You're trying to do too much, too advanced. You know, you had
Mhm.
kindergarten who's gonna actually really need your attention to learn, how to read. Um,
Mhm.
and you guys figured out, you were in process and you were figuring out what worked for Lexi. And she's learning these real life skills and
Yeah.
learning how to educate herself. I think
Mhm.
that's amazing. And when our kids, I personally advocate for this when our kids start entering high school, because I used to, when my husband and I would tell people we planned on homeschooling, this is even before we had kids, they were like, oh, but when they get to high school, you're going to send them to high school, right? And I
Mm.
had gone to public high school and I was like, yeah, we'll send them to high school. And now being older and reflecting on my own high school experience in public school, my homeschool experience, and then what I want for my boys, I'm like, why would I send them to public school so they could sit and waste all this time and like hang
Mhm.
out with their friends? This is the time of their life they have the opportunity to, like, they have the time and the space to explore what lights them up and can also put money in the bank. When they turn
Mhm.
18, 20, 25, gosh, they're going to have to be paying their own bills and they won't
Yeah.
have this freedom. Why on earth would I just give away that time where they could figure it out now rather than when they were like adults? Like, why would I do that? And so I love this approach that you're taking with Lexi, and I know she's doing so much with Turning Point, which I
Yeah.
think is awesome. Um,
Yeah.
letting her grow in that way and being around these amazing leaders, I think that is so powerful.
Yeah, that's definitely been a blessing from the Lord, that just kind of like almost fell into her lap, and being able to attend those conferences and just really lit a fire under her. And I'm excited to see where that goes. So I'm kind of jealous because I'm like, I want to be a teenager and go do that.
I know.
So
I saw you, like, you got to see Lisa Bevere, you got to see
mhm.
Jenny Urick. Who else did you guys get to see together?
Oh, that was at the Young Women's Conference. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
okay.
Yeah, so the next one's in June. It's in San Antonio. You gotta go. You have to
I don't
go.
have a
It's
girl. I have
you don't have
boys.
to. You can go. There are moms who take their little ones, and there are grandmas who just go. So you don't need to have a teenager to go. It's for all women, and it is so empowering, and just, oh man, just, it was amazing. Like, I came back from that and I just started running with all the things that God just put on my heart from that
Mhm.
conference, and it was incredible. So
That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay. So Jennifer put some things in the chat. Um let's see what she says. She's struggling struggle with options, what to do if college is not the way. That's the only way I know. But
Mhm.
doing different plan for my son who's in high school is a process to figure out. What would
Mhm.
you, how would you encourage Jennifer right now in this season where she's in process of trying to figure things
Yeah.
out?
So the first thing I would say is pray about it. Um, the Lord knows where He's going to take your child, and the Lord will help you pick the right curriculum or take the right classes. Secondly, trades. Trades are lacking. And so, what kind of things is he into? So, if he's into electrical work, start to do classes that will align with that so that when he gets into that apprenticeship, most states will have an apprenticeship depending where you're at. In other states, you just go to work. And so, doing the curriculum that will help grow that, or maybe it's plumbing or HVAC or roofing or construction, and not just personally, I would not just teach them how to be a worker. I would teach them how to be the owner of their own business. So learning accounting and how to send out emails and be professional and building that work ethic, maybe exposing that child to different trades, like finding somebody in your community who's an electrician and have your child shadow that person. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, and I want to second that, Raquel, because of the trades right now, there are more people retiring than filling the spaces of the gentlemen who
Mm-hmm.
are retiring. And so
Yeah.
it's actually a very good time for our kids to be thinking about becoming tradesmen. My younger brother, who's 9 years younger than me, so he's in his late 20s, he just finished his welding apprenticeship. He just graduated, so he's looking for a job at this point, but he's basically got job guarantee because there are
Mm-hmm.
so many spaces lacking in
Mm-hmm.
that industry. Like they're just waiting to fill the jobs with people who know what to do. And
Yeah.
so I definitely second that, looking at
Mm-hmm.
trades and seeing what might light a passion for him.
Yeah.
Holly shared, yes, my son is going to be an electrician after being on first robotics team. Oh, that's so great. He's also participating in Skills USA. Awesome.
Mm.
Um, and Malia shared, you can still do trades with supports. Yeah, so good. Let's hear. Jennifer asked a follow up question, if you don't mind. Are there trades that they can work on? They can work one on one with people who can work with kids who need a little more support.
I think so. I think if you want that, you need to go out and be your child's advocate and maybe find a small business owner who will take your child under their wing and help them out. And you would be surprised. So, one thing that I've learned since in the last 7 years is don't be afraid to ask. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. The motto of a closed mouth doesn't get fed comes to mind every single time. And so I have grown to just not be afraid to ask because I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So just go out there, start asking. If you're on social media, start putting in community groups, maybe on the Nextdoor app. Maybe there's a homeschool family near you who they have like a family member who owns a business and is in a trade, and they will take your child under their wing and help them.
Yeah. And so I want to also play on this, and not where I was expecting our conversation to go, but I want to play on this because right now, a lot of baby boomers who have built solid businesses are looking to exit, but they have no one to pass their
Mhm.
business to. And so the
Yep.
business, their employees are just going to die. And if your
Mhm.
child is motivated and shows up strong and says, hey, I want to learn to do what you do. I want to like help support you, and maybe potentially, next 5 years I want to help take over this business and keep it thriving and make like continue it and serving
Mhm.
the community. Baby boomers are looking to pass their businesses on right now, and actually
Yeah.
right now we are at a extremely unique opportunity where your child could inherit a thriving business and not have to start it from themselves, which would be amazing.
Yes. Oh man, starting a business is very hard.
It's very
Very
hard.
hard.
It's very
Yes.
hard. So I definitely, college is not an option for your teen. Like you guys don't even want to consider it, which I mean doesn't need to be considered in any. You have permission to not consider it, is what I'm saying. Trades and looking to take over businesses from boomers who are wanting to retire, is this is a great time for that. So, great question. Great question. Okay. So, lovely Raquel, I would love to hear what were some of the things in the book? Because you shared with me like it was really resonating. What were some of the things from the book that were takeaways for you?
So a few things. So I started reading it and I got to be honest, I was like, okay, I wanted to support you, but I was like, another self-help book. I've learned throughout the years that self-help books are just not for me. But I was like, let's give this a shot. So I start reading it and I am not even joking. Like I literally cried because you talk about how you are writing this book for yourself and like there would like you couldn't what's the word? What is the word? I'm throwing a blank. Where you didn't have that person who was going through what you were going through to help you. So you had to go through it so that you could help somebody else. And I
Yeah.
totally resonate with that because I'm in a similar situation for some other things. And so that just made me cry. And then I have learned a lot of women in general, I think we've learned to just mask when we're going through stuff and we're afraid to share all these hard things. And I think a lot of it is because social media makes us think we got to be aesthetically pleasing and have this fancy stuff and our house is always clean. No, no, especially homeschool families.
Yeah.
And you just put it all out there. You just bared it all. And that was like refreshing for me. And it actually really encouraged me and motivated me to keep sharing some other things that I'm doing with my women's ministry. And then self-sabotage. Oh man, how many times have I done that throughout my entire life in different things? And honestly, still like how you talk about being anxious and how that presents itself. I didn't realize that it was anxiety I was dealing with because I knew I had anxiety for other things. I thought I was over it. But when I started reading the book, I started to realize, oh, I'm still struggling with anxiety. It's just presenting itself differently. And so trying to make a conscious effort and realizing, hey, that's anxiety. You don't need to yell. Or that's anxiety. You can react differently. I've been working on that. I feel like I'm doing so much better. Obviously, I need work. I haven't finished the book yet, but we're getting there. And it's so helpful. Like I even started recommending it because I'm like, you guys need this book. It's like the #2 book I recommend now. The first one was by Durenda Wilson, Raising Boys, and this is my other one, and this is for
Great.
all all families, not just moms of boys. And the I know I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. And so having this book, I don't even think there's another book like this out there, where you bear it all and you share the depths and all the stuff. And like it was it was great. Like it just really helped. And I never would have thought that of you. I never would have
I
thought that you have gone through this stuff or we're dealing with this. And so to just bear it all out there, it was just amazing and encouraging.
Good. Oh, that touches my heart. And I love that you're like, oh, not another self-help book, but it's like it's not just that. It's
Yeah.
it helps you. I honestly, it helps you feel so seen. And you're like, oh, because we are so isolated in our homeschooling mom experience. And then when we do get together, it can be very scary to admit to another homeschool mom, like, I'm actually really struggling. And even if
Hmm.
we wanted to say it, we might say that sentence halfway through, and then somebody's like, hey, mom, because there's usually 30 kids around, right?
Yeah.
So it can be so hard to like if we're brave enough to even bare our soul to somebody else, to have the time and space, because we are homeschool moms and the kids are always around. And sometimes these kids are really little and they like, you're nursing a baby or somebody's throwing sand in somebody else's eye, and not
Hmm.
having the space to share. Even if we were brave enough, that's a real thing that homeschool moms face. And so
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're recommending it. We should stock it in your store, shouldn't we?
I was going to tell you that. Yes.
Okay, we'll
I
talk.
tend to
We'll talk.
recommend I tend to recommend a lot of books I don't have here, but like I tell everybody, I'm not here to make $1 off you. I'm here to help you.
Yeah, yeah. So, oh, that means so much to me. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Well,
Um,
I'm just so glad you came across my path because you have been a blessing to me, and this book is going to be a blessing to so many moms.
Yeah, I know. So the way I found you, one of my clients, her name's Wendy, she was like, "Are you going to this conference? And are you going to speak here?" And I was like, "I don't even know about this conference." And then I just reached out. I did the thing that you are recommending. I just asked, right? And what's the worst thing? She could have said no, but I got to be a vendor. I got to speak. I got clients from it. Like it's been amazing. And now I have you here. It's just, again, ask people. I think that is a good
Yeah.
takeaway from this conversation.
Yeah. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to ask.
Yeah, thank you so much, Raquel. Was there anything else you wanted to share, like a specific story of walking through overwhelm, or anything along those lines before we end our chat?
Um, Not a specific story, but I will say for any of the moms that are watching this, get the book if you haven't already. And if you can, sign up for Amanda's classes that she gives, because she is a wealth of knowledge and you're going to leave so much more equipped than if you didn't. And you're going to be, I believe you say this, a homeschool boss. You're going to be a boss at homeschooling, and do that versus scrolling social media and trying to take everybody's advice. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I actually got on my soapbox about that a little bit, because it's not that you need to listen to me, but I do think you need to listen to one well-established homeschool mom, whether that's
Yeah.
me or somebody like Dorinda Wilson, or somebody else in the homeschool space, because we get conflicting information, right? Somebody's like, do
Hmm.
this morning basket, another person's like, don't do the morning basket. And then for you as a person, because you're listening to all this conflicting information, you get stuck, and then you don't
Hmm.
end up creating the homeschool life that you want to. And
Yeah.
we lose sight of that because we get stuck in these little tasks. And so whether you're listening to me or another like homeschool creator, homeschool coach, pick one person to listen to. Obviously, I wish it was me that you would pick me. um, but again, I might not be your cup of tea, and that's okay, because I'm a really strong cup of coffee. But I just want to encourage you on that. Pick one person to follow for 90 days, and don't do anybody else's suggestions. Just follow one person. And to what Raquel says, if you buy the book, you enter the giveaway, you actually get a ticket to my homeschool plan your homeschool year like a boss workshop that I'm hosting at the beginning of August. So I'm just trying to grab the link to make sure once you buy the book, come back and enter this, because you get a free ticket. So you get to experience more of my teaching and hear more from what I share in the book. So thank you for sharing that, Raquel.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, um, let's hear. Jazzy asked, "What's the name of your conference again?" And then if you could share with us your website and where we can connect with you, in case they're local, or maybe they can find you online.
Mhm. So all of that information from the store to the conference, everything can be found at tailoredhomeschool.com. And it's tailored like if you're sewing. So it's TAILORED, homeschool.com. So the conference stuff is all there. There's a tab on there. The books that I sell, like, and social media links, everything is there. Even my phone number is on there, and you can text me anytime. So like, it's literally just me and my kids running this. And so yeah, that's where you can find it all at.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. I highly recommend checking out Raquel's website. If you are in Washington, go check out her store, or come also to the expo this weekend. We will see you in Kirkland.
Mhm.
And again, yeah, if you're in the Washington area, please come visit the store. It's awesome what she is doing for the homeschool community. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for joining me, Raquel.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Bye.